Hello and welcome to SoulTopia Shenanigans with Michelle Welch. We are live on YouTube and thank you for joining us. It has been quite a week. We have had so many things going on here at the store, and of course we are opening a new store in the Bishop Arts District in Dallas, Texas. So things are moving along and going great. And so a lot of exciting news. I also had some difficult news this week. Some friends of mine have been going through some really hard things. A really good friend of mine whose husband had something occur with him medically. And so it really puts things into perspective in your life when certain things, happen. And you really just begin to think and contemplate who's really in your life, who you really care about in your life, who really cares about you. And this is a really old friend of mine. She's known me for 30 years, and I've known her for 30 years. We raised our kids together, and so she's really quite the wonderful person. So I love her very much, and so that's been on my mind. And then my daughter actually went through Rush this week at UT, and that is completely crazy. So, hi, Electra. So Electra just snuck out of her office. She's doing massages here at SoulTopia. There's always stuff going on. So anyway, so my daughter went through Rush at UT, and I'm just going to tell you that is probably that process put me through more stress than probably anything that I've been through in a long time. And poor Roger, he's like, I don't even get it. But Tanner found out tonight that she got her first choice for her sorority. Of course she did, because she's a bright light and everybody just adores her and loves her. So it was a relief, though. I told everybody that was like, that they should use that as a form of torture. If they really want to know a torture for moms, that is one, because you have no clue what's going on, and it's really torture. But anyway, we're here, and we've survived it. But what everybody is having a problem with still is their allergies, and they're turning into respiratory infections. And so I thought with my friend Mary Gates, because I was just so busy dealing with other issues today, I was like, what am I going to talk about? Now, I don't have a guest for the show tonight. And Mary, we should have just had you on, but Mary's here. She's like, well, why don't you talk about crystals for allergies? Well, I can talk about crystals, as you know, all forever. Crystals are no problem for me to talk about. So that's what we're going to talk about, and then we'll do a few readings. One of the crystals that's just a go-to crystal for allergies and asthma is your Himalayan salt, also known as halite. It's spelled Halite. Here you have one. And then here you also, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to pick it up. This is pink halite. Isn't it gorgeous? So let me show you that this comes out of the ocean. It's like this. And then they pull it, they get down in the water, and they pull it out, and then they flip it. And then you see all the beautiful crystals. So this is pink halite. So is this piece over here. Another piece that we have here at SoulTopia. Now, all of these are great to have in your environment, in your home, for helping with to bring in the negative ions, and negative in this case is good. The negative ions, like those that you would get at the ocean. So when you get the ocean and you can feel it, you know how you can just feel the ocean, you're getting closer to the ocean, you're closer, maybe can't even see it yet, but you can feel it. And you can start to feel those healing effects of the ocean. That's the negative ions. And so those are emitted from this halite, these salt lamps that you guys plug in. And a lot of people plug into their computers or into their car, or all kinds of ways you can use those. But that's a great go-to crystal, and salt is a crystal, so that's a great go-to for your allergies and your asthma. And I would just say always keep that. If you know somebody who has really bad allergies or really an asthma, I would always have this in their bedroom. We have one in our bedroom. We have it in our living room. I mean, you just can't have enough salt lamps, in my opinion. Another great crystal for pollen specifically. Pollen is really, I'm from East Texas, and in East Texas, there's just pollen is very, very high. The pollen counts can get extremely high. And you can literally sometimes go, and I've even seen it here at SoulTopia with the black mailbox. You can literally go up to cars, though, in East Texas, from where I'm from, and run your finger over or go outside, and they'll just be covered in like a yellow-green. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like pollen. And that can really make you sick, and feel really, really poorly from those allergies, from the pollen allergies. And I've posted a couple times lately. You can go on the Weather Channel app, and when you scroll down on that app to the bottom, it'll tell you what in your area. So you put in, wherever you're from, and it'll tell you what grass or ragweed or pollen and something else, whatever it is in your area, if it's high or moderate or low. And then you can kind of tell. You also can tell for how you're feeling. You can check the barometric pressure too, because that's going to contribute to sometimes when you feel like it's just the energies that oppressive to you. A lot of times that actually is the barometric pressure, and it may affect you. Okay, so carnelian, this is a piece of raw carnelian. And you can see here, that's the beautiful carnelian. And I like a lot of the raw pieces. And these, I have a little grid here of 3s. These are regular carnelian. Carnelian is great for specifically pollen allergies, but also all kinds of allergies. So the ragweed's high right now, so it's very good for that also. And so that's one of my go-to for the allergies is the carnelian to carry in your pocket and things like that. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss anything on the carnelian, anything else that I wanted to say. Well, of course, because it's a stone that's connected with your sacral chakra, because it's orange. This is one that it's orange, but it has to do with your creativity, that sacral chakra, but into your solar plexus just a little bit and start connect to that self-confidence. But it's a stone that is really great for lung issues. So once those allergies kind of start settling into the lungs or to the respiratory, it's really good for that. Now, of course, none of these replace going to the doctor of your choice if you need to go. I would never say that, but these can certainly help. Carrying them in your pocket or wearing them or putting them down in your, like if you're women, down in your bra if you want to do that. For guys, just put them in your pocket, however you want to do it, or wearing them around a necklace in like a little chain, not a chain, a little cage, and you put the crystals in there. That can be really, really helpful. A lot of times the crystals, when you actually stop carrying them, you'll go, what's going on? I notice a difference, and I don't know why. And you'll realize, wait, I'm not carrying my crystals. Now, for me, I wear them. So these are grids, and I wear my bracelets all the time because we sell a lot of them at SoulTopia, and we love making them. And they feel really good. And when I take them off a lot of times and change them up, I might miss one of them, particularly shungite, because I wear that a lot, because that wards off kind of pretty much anything. Any kind of allergy, plus also EMFs. And that's a whole nother topic, is shungite. We could talk about the whole show. Now, another crystal that is really, really good for your allergies, and it's basically a stone that a lot of people think of as the Reiki stone. It's apophyllite, and these are big ones, you guys. These are amazing. We have these here at SoulTopia, and they're nice. They're huge. So, hi, you guys. And so these are great for working with, and I use them. It's interesting because I was always kind of wondering why I would put them, because little ones you might put on the third eye or something. I was always kind of wondering why I would put them on a solar plexus or on a sacral chakra. And I will. I've been doing that in healings lately. And it's interesting because I had never really thought of apophyllite as being so great for allergies, but it actually is. It's a very calming stone, which is known actually to help open your and access your Akashic records. But actually, I found out that it works directly with the respiratory system. So it helps neutralize the allergies as they occur. And then it also promotes regeneration of the mucous membrane. So it's also beneficial for those who have asthma too. So, wow, this little guy, well, it's not little, but these guys, and they come in small little guys, apophyllite are great for that. And that's something that I wonder if you guys knew, because I didn't really know that much. I've used apophyllites for so many other higher ascension things. And for, just these actually have some beautiful rainbows in them. The other one, and there's a lot of crystals, but we couldn't go over all of them tonight. But the other one I brought out was to show you is aventurine. Now, aventurine comes in a lot of different colors. I pulled out the green aventurine. It comes in yellow aventurine. There's peach aventurine. There's blue aventurine. So you could work with different chakras if you wanted to, or whichever one you like. Even the blue might be great for your throat chakra. That might even be better. And but the green is probably the most common that you find, and it works with the nervous system primarily, and it reduces inflammation. A lot of it for your skin. So if you're getting allergies that are affecting your skin, but not just that. So once those allergies go into some sort of inflammation in your lungs, or even, in the mucous membranes or in your sinuses, and you get that inflammation, like even under my eyes right now, I'm feeling kind of swollen. This green aventurine or blue or peach or yellow, whichever one you want to use, whichever one you're drawn to, that will really, really help you. And so one other that I didn't bring that we just kind of happened to notice that made sense to me, this kind of clicked, that Mary and I thought it made sense, was amber. We have some beautiful amber pieces here that are really amber. We have amber light too. It was actually our crystal of the week this past week. You got 2 for 1. But we have the amber that has the little insects in it and things like that. That's been used for a really long time for all kinds of diseases, even infectious diseases. But if you think about it, amber is not really a crystal. Amber is a resin. We call it a crystal, but it's really not. It's amorphous in shape, and it's a resin. And so that amber can be used. A lot of people would come in wanting it for their children who are teething, just to soothe that inflammation. We never sold it for that because they put it around their neck. And I've said this before, there was a case of someone, a child that was strangled, not here, but in California. So we never sold those beads to put around a baby's neck. If you did it, that's your choice, but we chose to not do that here. The children didn't chew on the amber. It was just that the properties and the resin was soothing, they said, for teething. So they'd put it in a necklace around their neck. Okay. I wouldn't do that. But I think it's dangerous. Wouldn't put it around my baby. But anyway, so we didn't sell them. Grape at me if you want. It was like a really big trend. And Roger and I were like, we're not doing that. And so then I did look up the law, and yes, there was one that had strangled from that. So, but how does it help? If you carried it, it makes sense. If you are having a lot of inflammation, that resin could just soothe you and go into your skin and soothe you. What I do, and I wish I'd brought it out here, I buy like at Target or CVS or whatever. It comes in a thing just like Scotch tape, but it's white, and it's kind of this really easy. It wouldn't even wax your eyebrows if you wanted it to, probably. It's that light, but it will hold crystals on if you tape them. Like if you wanted to tape one on your third eye, or you wanted to tape it on your throat chakra when you're sleeping, or if you're just sitting there watching TV, or you're just sitting there working on your computer, you could put it right on that area, or your sinuses where they're hurting. You could tape little pieces of crystals with that and tape them on there. It's just a really gentle tape. It's white. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about. It doesn't leave any residue. It's not hard to pull off like some of those Band-Aids are that are gross. Don't use those because it'll ruin your crystal, and y'all know what I'm talking about? I hate those Band-Aids that are really, really hard and they leave all that sticky stuff on you. So those are crystals that I wanted to talk about. Before I do a couple of readings, I do want to say, so I'm not rushing at the end, I wanted to tell you guys that we have a couple of things coming up this next week, or in the next couple of weeks. Today is Monday, right? Tuesday, we have, so every other Monday, we have Claudia's and Roger's Nature's Soul Magic class. And that has been really, really popular. And it's candles, it's herbs, it's crystals. It's just using the tools that you can to manifest positive things in your life. Not to interfere with others' wills, not to bend anyone else's will, but just to manifest positive things in your life. It's been a fun, extremely fun class. Last week, they did the little gris or mojo bags, right? And so I don't know what they're doing next time, but they're really, really fun. So that class has been really popular. We are not going to have that on Labor Day. I believe it is on our calendar. That will come off. It may be on Facebook, and it may have been put out there that we are closed on Mondays, and we're not going to have that class on Labor Day. Okay, it was announced to the class, but any of you guys that are seeing this, just know. But it is, check the calendar, it is every other Monday, other than, like a Labor Day, where people want that day off. So this, tomorrow night, Marcia Denise is doing her meditation, mediumship, and more class, and that was extremely popular. She does that every other week. Tomorrow's the day she has that. So you guys, you can sign up online, which is always very helpful to us if you would do that. Our classes are getting really crowded. And because of that, it's helpful for you to sign up ahead of time. Now, if you can't, even my Thursday night class, the intuitive class, it really would be very helpful if you guys would begin to sign up for that ahead of time. I think we had, 20 plus last time for the intuitive class, and that's great. We've extended the back room. It's spacious. It's great. But it does make a difference on the exercises that we do for like what Marcia's going to do, what I might do on Thursday night. So signing up would be a really great thing. Okay, so we have that. Saturday, we have Dave Withers is coming and doing his chakra and aura photography. You guys have all been loving that. And then on Sunday, we have what we call our first Sunday, where we have our healers. Tina and Emma will be here healing. And we have, as always, they office from here. And they do energy healings and massages and all different kinds of healings, crystal healings. And then we will also have, that's the one day that I read discounted. That's it. Is the first Sunday. That is the only day. I don't read at SoulTopia Sensation. I do a gallery that day. So I read that day, discounted, and then Mary Gates will be here reading, and Marcia will be here reading. We sometimes add a fourth depending on how many we feel are coming, and how we might add Ashley to that. Ashley reads for us quite a bit also. Now, one of the main things I wanted to tell you guys is we have someone coming, a very special guest, on September 6th through the 8th. His name is John Newton, and he's been on a lot of TV shows and was on, I believe, Melrose Place, but mainly he was always through that. My understanding from him is even when he was on all those shows and on these different TV shows or movies or things that he was doing in Hollywood, he's always been very much into his healing. So this isn't something new for him. This is something that he has been practicing for quite some time. And I just want to read what he wrote. Dear Soultopian, John Newton will be in Dallas September 6th through 8th to offer powerful group events and workshops. Come experience the miracle of ancestral clearing to support a life of total well-being and infinite possibility. Now, we're going to have several things you can sign up for. One is a group event. Now, he works with the whole group, but if you raise your hand, he also works on you individually. And so there's that. And that is going to be the Intensive Ancestral Clearing Group Intensive is Friday, September 7th. And that is from 7 to 9, and it's $45. It says, learn about and experience the miracle of ancestral clearing for physical, emotional, financial, and spiritual well-being. John offers knowledge, clearings, and questions and answers to end suffering and support of life of infinite possibility. Now, he's also going to be at Unity Church, and he's has a quite extensive following. So you guys, you might not be familiar with his healings here right now in Dallas. Some of you, I would come check him out. Okay? Very good at his healings. In fact, Erica had, our operations manager, had a healing, and I can't wait for her to tell us all about that. I haven't heard from her yet about it. Saturday, September 8th is a workshop. It's called Life Reset from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30. And that is going to be RSVP only. It's a very intensive workshop, Creating the Life You Want. And then on Saturday, September 8th, there is a workshop, again, Powerful Manifestation from 2 to 5. So if you register for both workshops, it's only $199, and that's basically the whole day. That's really good, you guys, okay? And he does have a limited number of private sessions available. So really want to tell you guys to go on the website and read more about him, and go on our calendar to read more about him. We're really excited to have him coming. And like I said, I believe he's also going to be at Unity Church too, but I don't think he's doing all the events that he's doing here. Okay, so it's going to be really good, so you want to reserve your spot. Now, I have time for a couple readings, and let's see. These were sent to me, the people who had said they wanted a reading, and I'm going to see if we can find them. Okay. So I'm going to read for, is it Elizabeth? I'm going to just say Elizabeth, okay? Elizabeth D, okay? I believe I think it's on there differently, but I'm not going to say last names. So I'm reading it for Elizabeth D, and these are going to be pretty quick little readings, okay? I'll see if I can do that with the grid there. I'm going to move the grid, actually. Sorry, little grid. You're going away. Okay. So I'm just going to pull for you, Elizabeth, one card for, there was not a specific question, so what you need to know at this time for your highest and best good. Okay, and this is for Elizabeth. Okay, so I get, Elizabeth, that there's an area where you need to just charge ahead. You need to take control. You need to feel a little stronger in your will. You feel like there's some stuff kind of coming at you. That's okay. It feels not so great. Charge ahead. Go through it. Walk through it. Don't run from it, but it's almost like you're leading the charge. You're leading the way, and you have to make sure that you keep leading the way, because if you don't, then others are going to kind of falter and fall away too in this, whatever this cause is, whatever this thing is that you are leading the way in. So it's kind of like you're charging ahead. Okay? All right. The next one, and I wish my phone wouldn't turn off every single time that I'm trying to find these. Okay. I'm going to read for Lisa S. Okay? Lisa, you said yes, please. Much love and light. So I'm going to pull a card for you. I don't have really a lot of room to fan here. Oh, but I'm filling this card right here. Oh, wow. So you got the star card, Lisa. And immediately what I see is that, first of all, you've kind of been feeling a little lightheaded. You feel kind of, like kind of airy-fairy is what I call it when I feel that way. Just kind of a little lightheaded. And I don't know if it's from what we were talking about, from allergies and from the weather, or you're just kind of not super grounded right now. That's okay. The weird thing is that I'm feeling for you that even though you're not feeling super grounded, the way you're going to ground, and this is opposite, you guys, the most, is through water. Okay, that's like a portal. It's not always super grounding, but for you, it's going to be. I feel like you need to just go ahead and full force. I don't know if you can still, what you're doing on Labor Day, but you need to really connect with the water element. And actually, I'm feeling the the halite too, the Himalayan salt or the salt lamps. You have a lot of beautiful things around you, beings, like honestly, like little light beings around you. They're really pretty. They're twinkly. They're all around. So sometimes when you're feeling kind of dizzy, it's because you're really connecting with those beings. And so make sure you are on stable footing, and make sure you do ground when you come out of your water experience. Okay, so when you come out of it, I want you to make sure that you are, stepping in the grass and really getting a firm footing. I'm just feeling it feels like you're opening up and it's some enlightenment, but it's making you a little dizzy, okay? So just make sure you're firm footing, but you do have a lot of these protective beings around you, okay? It's really beautiful, actually. Okay. And now, let's see. Who else we have? All right, so Shannon. I'm going to do Shannon, Sadie, then Shay. Oh, that's going to be hard to remember. Shannon, Sadie. Can y'all remember that? Shannon first. Shannon. Sadie. Okay, Shannon. Just one thing that Shannon needs to know. Wow, Shannon. Okay, y'all saw that I didn't shuffle, but I fanned the cards and I just randomly drew another card. Shannon, you got the same card as the very first reading that I did. Okay? It was the Knight of Swords. And for you, I feel it's a little bit different. For you, I feel like something has been carrying you through a bit of a storm. And you're kind of riding on, it's almost like, of course, because the swords are, usually on horses. But I'm seeing it really, you're not really riding on a horse, but you're riding on, it's like you're really relying on someone else to help you through this storm. And I want you to know that they are there to help you through the storm. But you also wield a mighty force yourself. So you don't need to just completely rely on the other person to help you through. And when I say storm, it could be, storms are relative, okay? For someone, it could be really something dire and like life-threatening. And for somebody else, it could be whatever their storm is, it doesn't matter. It's what's relevant to them. I had somebody tell me one time, I was like, oh, I was really depressed. This was years ago, and I was really, really depressed. And I said to this counselor, he was a mentor to me, and he was actually a pastor, and he was wonderful. And I said to him, he called me to tell me a friend of mine had committed suicide. And I was like, well, then, who am I to be feeling like I should be depressed? I have so many blessings in life. And he always reminded me that what you're going, it's all relative. Don't compare what you're going through to what somebody else is going through. This is your journey. So what you're going through is it's not like you're being selfish and it's the most important thing, but that's what you've been given at the time. So you don't need to cut yourself down that you're concerned about potentially, and I'm talking to everybody, oh wow, I can never say how I really feel because wow, there's somebody else out there that's a lot worse than me. You can say, you can share how you feel, because the more we don't share and we just go, I'm okay, it's so fake, I'm doing great, and we're just stuffing it down, guess what? It's going to come out as illness. All right? So for you, I'm going to tell you, you can rely on the person that you've been counting on for whatever this storm is, and you can count on them. So I'm not saying how big the storm is, but whatever it is for you, and I'm getting the word storm, but make sure you know that you also can count on yourself. Okay? Now I said 2 more. They're going to be fast. Um, Sadie, thank you, Mary. Mary went down with me today and Roger, and we looked at the new place. It's being renovated down in the Bishop Arts District, and then we had pie at the pie place. It was wonderful. Yeah, we had hamburger and pie. There's some really good places to eat down there. All right, Sadie. Okay. Sadie, new adventures are on the way for you, but you're not ready to embrace them. You're really hanging on to some old ways. Those are okay. But it's almost some ancestral. It's interesting because we were talking about John Newton's the ancestral clearings. It's almost some ancestral, really old karmic things that you're hanging on to. And it's kind of hindering you from moving forward in all that life has to offer you. Now, we know this is a lot of us, okay? That's why John Newton, I'm so interested in his ancestral clearing, because I do a lot of that with Stellar Gateway, with karmic clearing, so healing. So I feel that there's something really exciting that is trying to come into your life, but you're really resisting it because of you may not even know why, but you just feel like you're resistant to taking that step forward. And I'm going to encourage you to just go ahead and take the step forward, okay? And the last one is Shay, right? Yep. I'm not going to shuffle. We're coming down here. So Shay. Shay, the answer is yes regarding the job. Something about a job, and will it be fruitful? Hang in there. The answer is yes. I see you in a beautiful, you have a lot to offer. Be patient. The answer is yes, and be patient. That's what I get for you. Strongly. I see you really holding your own. If you will give, some sort of job or financial situation, if you will really give it a chance to take root and take hold, I see you really being in command of it. And you really, if you are not good yet with knowing that you have good, solid, down-to-earth advice, I need you to realize you do. Step into that, because you really, really own that. You are very practical, and you need to, I'm going to invite you to step into that role a little bit more. Be patient with whatever the job or financial situation is. I see you really coming out in beauty with that, and really, really shining in that area. Okay? All right. So that's it for tonight. By the way, these cards were the Star cards by Kathy McClelland, I believe. And I'm going to tell you, they're some of my favorite cards. I'm about to reorder, and every time we order these, we sell out of them. They are beautiful. Like every card you pick up is absolutely gorgeous. They are tarot cards, and they are absolutely, she is amazing. I don't know her, but I can just tell you the energy from these cards is just absolutely amazing. There are so many gifted people who put, when you buy, I'm just saying one thing, when you buy a deck of cards, you guys know how much work people have put into these. I mean, you can tell, you can feel it, and you can really feel it in this deck, because you can feel with these cards. They're just wonderful cards. So I'm really appreciative to those authors who really, I have Chiro Marchetti's deck out here. I'm one of his decks that I use a lot. He's coming, you guys, in November. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. And so I just want to say how grateful I am to all those who really take time with their craft. And we have a lot of those decks in our store. And I think that's why they sell in our store. I think that's why people come in here and get them and don't just run on Amazon or to the big stores and always are to get them, is because, they really, we have such a good selection, and we really put a lot of thought into the cards that we get. So thank you for all your support, and thank you, Cassie, for setting up tonight and all the hard work you do. I know that you're struggling with the allergies. Roger's coughing in the back with his allergies. Mary's been coughing. And so all of you guys out there who maybe aren't feeling so great, hopefully some of these crystals may help a little bit. And I want to tell you something. You can use them as elixirs, but you have to look up the toxicity of each stone because we did not have that time to go over that. So don't just drop those in your water. You must wash them and look up the toxicity of each stone. You're responsible for that. Unless you come in and talk to us at SoulTopia, and then we can go over the toxicity with you, okay? Speaking of, I'm starting my crystal class. So go online. Those of you who've been wanting to know, we are starting the crystal certification, I think in the middle of September, and it's on Wednesday nights. And yes, you get a certification, and it is very affordable, okay? And you get just as much as some of those really expensive ones. They're wonderful, but you guys, sign up for this, okay? I've been teaching it for quite some time, and it's a really, really good class if you really want to learn your crystals, okay? Until next time, crystal cheers.